Welcome back to the sweatshop, boys and girls. Today we are working on a 2015 Nissan Versa Note. What we're doing on the Versa today is fixing the exhaust. This thing has a flange that has rotted away, and the reason why I'm making this video is not necessarily because you're going to be able to do this in your driveway. No. It is because a lot of times whenever I get a customer who comes in with a brand new part, say a couple of years old, sometimes even less, they're usually replacing that brand new muffler again. And this is why I'm making that video specifically. Even though the aftermarket stuff may seem cheap and you feel like, yeah, you're getting a whole new muffler and pipe and all that stuff, they're usually made from material that is so cheap that 1 or 2 years later, you're going to be back seeing me for the exact same problem. And that's actually how I get a lot of my new business, because people get frustrated with, replacing the same goddamn component, every year or two. Why I'm filming this today is to show you that this solid pipe, 14 gauge cold rolled, if you have a good exhaust shop around you, is the stuff that's going to outlast most new exhaust components out there on the market. I'm going to use this pipe to go ahead and replace that flange. We're going to get rid of the flange, which is the issue, and we're going to leave the muffler, which will probably get you another 3 to 4 years at least. Now, obviously, this is dependent upon how much rust you have on your car and, where in the rust belt you're located and all this sort of stuff. But in my experience, it's almost always better just to replace the flange instead of replacing the actual muffler. Now, the thing is, most people who are in shops don't have the capability of just replacing the pipe for you, so you're going to have to face a muffler shop that is capable, but one that is honest, because unfortunately in my industry, return business is one of those things that a lot of mechanics really do partake in, and it's rather annoying and a real black eye on our industry. That being said, though, we're going to go ahead and put this thing up in the air and I'll show you what's going on. Of course, before I do that, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you never miss one of my new videos. And just a warning, of course, if you're going to crawl underneath your car and look around to see what the hell the issue may be, employ the use of jack stands, because you don't want to end up in the news. And there is our problem. You can see here that the Nissan flanges, which is a common problem for the Nissans, is just horrible. Now, you can go ahead and replace this with a flange and whatnot. That's not a problem at all. But usually the flanges that you're going to get are going to end up in this state shortly after installation. Usually about a year or two, and they fall right apart. The Nissan is probably buying their flanges from the same place in China, which just makes it out of cardboard metal or something. It's just crap. Unfortunately, these things don't last very long. This one is a 2015, so 7 years isn't terrible, but they're not as good quality as compared to other manufacturers. Nonetheless, this thing sounds so bad, not only because of the flange being broken, but because the heat shield has decided to let go. Now, there are 2 bolts up here, right here, and a little bit more on the upside of your screen is where it's located. But what we're going to do is pull those 10 mils off. We're going to shove some big washers in there, and that should give this customer a bit more time with this heat shield, because this thing is, well, probably ridiculously expensive and out of stock. But I haven't checked. We're having all kinds of stock issues nowadays. But yeah, that's the game plan. Now, just to explain to you exactly why it is I recommend the flange repair, you can see here our Nissan muffler is in fairly decent shape. And I've done a few other videos in the past that have shown the condition of aftermarket mufflers that really are just terrible in terms of their shape after 2 or 3 years. I have yet to see a aftermarket muffler that isn't a cheap replacement that would last past 3 or 4 years. A lot of them, unfortunately, are just really bad quality. So not only is it cheaper to do the flange repair, it's also much better for your long-term sanity, because this thing's going to last way longer. Okay, so now let's get down to the nitty-gritty. I'm going to cut that flange out. We'll show you what the process is. Okay, basically the process is to cut off the crappy rusted material. And of course, if you've watched my videos in the past, you'll know that my favorite incision maker is the death wheel, because this thing cuts metal like butter. Of course, you should, if you're crazy enough to attempt this at home, wear your eye protection, nose protection, and hearing protection, because you don't want to lose those things. Yeah, essentially, I mean, they're gifts, and well, if you don't have them, well, it's gonna suck. Anyhow, start cutting. surprisingly, I was actually doing a decent job there. Relatively straight in comparison to the flange. So yeah, good job, Jimmy. Just keep in mind, if you're crazy enough like me, that is your gas tank on this side here. So verify that there are absolutely no leaks, because nobody want to die. The other problem with the Versa is that it has, I think, 1.5 inch pipe, and unfortunately I don't have dies that are that small, so hopefully my 1 3/4 inch pipe fits over perfectly, because if it doesn't, well, this video is going to be a complete waste of time, and nobody wants to hear that shit, because you know, fuck, I'm putting time and effort into this. Oh, hey, easy there, Death Wheel. Look at that. Now I've got to find a measuring tape. Unfortunately, the one that I usually use is not here. That's why I have 16 of them. I don't have 16 of them. I got like 6, but yeah, you know what? You know what it is with measuring tapes. They like a lot of days off. So we need about 3.5 inches of pipe. What we're gonna do now is walk over to my pipe, and we're going to see if it fits. Now I've got my 1 3/4 inch piece, which slides right over, which is great. I'm gonna have to fill a little bit, but that's okay, because I'm good at filling holes, so that's not really a big issue. I've gotta pull this guy down here, line them both up, and then we have to go out the back and make sure while I support this that it's all okay and that it's lined up. Then what I'm going to do is tack that top portion there. I'm gonna pull the complete muffler out and weld it all up, because I can weld this guy nice and easily down here, but that top portion, there's not a chance I'm gonna be able to weld that nicely. So yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, bud. Right there, bud. Oh, right there, bud. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I don't know why I said that. I thought it was funny in my head. Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough there. Okay. So, as you can see, there is quite a bit of rust. And, well, we also need to make sure that we can weld on this thing without giving ourselves a headache. So, you gotta line her all up nicely. We're gonna hold this guy down here. Just mark it. Okay. And now we can see we've got 1/2 inch of pipe on either side, and we are good to go. Now I'm gonna pull this guy down, grind it all up, and I'll know how much to weld. Well, let's pull the muffler out. There are 2 of these exhaust clamps. Unfortunately, I can't really get a good angle on the other one, but I can show you this wonderful tool here on this side. Now tell me that isn't amazing. Is that not amazing? Oh yeah! Ugh. Nothing like a little bit of rust down the arm. Success, baby. Now I got my can, or my muffler, on the bench, and you can see here, it's still in really decent condition. So this is precisely why you don't want to replace these things just because you have a leak from the flange. The crappy replacements that are out there now will probably look like this after a couple of months. So, you know, save your mufflers. Now it's time to go ahead and grind this side up here. just so that when we weld it, we're not welding on complete rust. I'm gonna do that off camera. Now that we have the muffler out, before we go ahead and put the thing back into the car, we have ample amount of space to go ahead and deal with this issue here. And of course, you don't want to deal with it while the muffler's in there because it's just a pain in the ass, and that's stupid. Get yourself a deep flex and get that guy out of there, bud. Give him out my socket. Do the same to the other side. Remember, low impact or low torque ugga-duggas are the best things because that way you don't have broken bolts to deal with. I shall be back. Grab your anti-seize and just douse the studs in it so that, you know, the next time you do this, because the anti or the stupid thing is going to come apart again. It is a Nissan, my friends. That's a little bit too much douse in there, Jim. I don't want to waste this shit. Copper is expensive. You know what? I'm just putting more on. Of course, what you're gonna do is force your shield up like so. You're gonna grab some washers and then just thread your nut back into place. Like so. You do the same on the other side, like this. And now, to get more material underneath the collar of the washer, we're gonna offset the flange just a bit. Of course, we don't want the heat or flange. We're gonna offset the heat shield just a bit. We don't want it to go towards the tank. We want it away so you get that air barrier or air gap, which obviously provides cooling. Remember, whenever working with a heat shield, be very careful because these things are made out of the same material that they make blades out of, because they cut exactly the same, and they really they get you without you knowing until it's too late. Safety first. Make sure it hasn't let go anywhere else. Nope, it's just flimsy, crappy Nissan quality, but yeah, it's good. Okay, now we can put our muffler back in here, tack it, take it back off, weld it, and then put it back on, weld it in for good. Whenever working with a rubber exhaust hanger, that makes sense, but it said it weird. Whenever working with a rubber exhaust hanger or any sort of exhaust hanger that you need to force your hanger through, use WD-40. It will make your life considerably easier. Pick it up and slide it in. Oh, there we go. Holy Jesus. Let's get the stand so we can make this stupid thing stay in place. There you go. You gotta stay just right there, Nissan. That there is where we want it to sit. Let's get our pipe over. We'll lock that into place. Where's my pipe? Ow! Who put that fucking tire there? Slide it over like so, and bingo bango, we are good to go. All we gotta do now, set up the welder so I can put a tack. Okay, got the welder set up. Now all we gotta do is just line up our muffler and give it a tack. Come on, just... Okay, so what's happening there is basically there is a gap and I'm trying to cross that gap. I'm doing it at the world's worst angle because I have the camera in the way. So yeah, this side of course will be much easier because ain't no camera in the way. Oh, that shit's hot. Ooh, yeah, that's very hot. Isn't that nice and safe there? Is it? What's that angle looking like in the back? Oh, the tailpipe look happy. All right, let's give it a tack. Gave that more of a well. That way I know it ain't gonna move. Yeah. All right, now we'll go ahead, pull the thing off, weld it on my welder, and then we'll put it back in the car, weld it all up, and we will be good to go. Okay, these fucking gloves do not work. Like, I cannot stop the camera without tapping it, and then it shakes it, and stupid. It is extremely hard for me to get the camera in a nice position so you guys can see, and, well, I can actually weld this thing. So, because essentially where you're looking at is where I want to be so I can weld it. Anyhow, yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and weld it up. Maybe one day I can give you guys some basic lessons on welding if you're interested there out in the YouTube verse. Okay. pretend that I'm wearing my leather gloves. Yeah? Okay? Cool. I'm literally hugging the camera. This is so weird. Alright, let's flip it. We'll do the other side there. In case you're wondering, the reason why I stopped a few times is because that's quite a gap there, and you don't want to put too much heat and have the thing burn through. Because I mean, who the hell still uses 1.5 inch pipe? We're going for that big power, baby! 1 3/4. You step it up to 2 inch, you'll blow the flux capacitor on this pile of shit. Did I get ya? Yeah, we gotcha. All right, now we're going to carefully handle this part because, well, I don't want to get burnt. So yeah, put this bad boy back in the car and we weld it up. I've probably said that like 6 times, but I can't remember. Anyhow. All right, slide it into place. Of course, be very careful. It is very, very hot. Now, before you go ahead and weld it, make sure your alignment is good in the back. Yes, the exhaust work, my friends, is basically checking and rechecking and checking and checking until it's all done. Because once you forget to check and you screw it up, well, you're kind of shit out of luck. Is that looking good there? Yeah, baby. All right, let's give her a nice welderino. That looks good there. All right, fire. Fun tech and 2 techs. Now I put on helmet and I make welding. It's too close to my camera. I'm gonna move the camera because next thing you know, I'm gonna need to buy a camera. Ain't nobody got money for no camera. All right, boys and girls, let's do this. Yeah. All right, let's do this. That's some of my splatter that's come out. Because I'm doing it at a weird angle. Usually I'd be at like an angle like that where it just falls right off. But you know, YouTube. When the camera's not in the way, it makes life a lot easier. There we go. Okay, there you go. Finished product. We are good to go now. All we got to do now is put this thing down and fire it up. Make sure all is well. And there we go. Oh, look, I got a weld booger up here. There we go. Now we're good to go. Sexy, huh? No. So that's pretty much the end of the video for the repair. I just wanted to show you guys exactly what the flange looks like. You can see there, they just use the world's crappiest material. This stuff is just, it's terrible. The signs of this potentially going, other than it catastrophically failing one day, is essentially you'll start hearing a little bit of a hiss, and you know, it starts to basically hiss just a bit. before it just completely separates, it breaks off. It's really brittle stuff, which I guess is good for me. At the end of the day though, for the customer, it does kind of suck. But again, my recommendation, always replace this just with pipe instead of replacing both components. Just a waste of your own money. And whatever you get in the aftermarket world generally isn't going to be as good as the Nissan crap. So yeah, you know, hopefully you guys heed the warning. If you're in the Toronto area, come on by. We can definitely help you out. And it doesn't matter what car it is. If you have an exhaust issue or really any automotive issue, reach out. Of course, that being said, I hope you found the video entertaining as well as informative. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss one of my new videos. And as always, thanks for watching. We will see you in the next one. What we're doing on the Versa is we are doing... Talk about redundant, Jimmy. Ugh. Well, at least I didn't call it a micro this time. Anyhow, what we are doing on the Versa today is we are going to be fixing the exhaust. That's fucking stupid. The thing is, most guys who are, well, on the up of your screen, start to getting, well, my compressor's going, so this clip is going to be a real pain in the ass for you guys to hear. So I'll be back, and plus I got to reposition because I can't see what the hell I'm doing. Well, I was actually doing a pretty good straight cut there. What the fuck did you say? Oh boy. So, what we're going to do now is walk over fuck. Yeah, skippity skippity. Yeah, that might do it. Let's see. Let's see here, buddy. Where's my fucking marker? Oh man, that food made me slow. God damn! Why can't I touch this fucking button without shaking the camera? God damn it! God damn. This thing's gonna outlaw... I need a flex socket, son of a bitch. Is figure out a way to, oh yeah, do this without knocking the camera. It is tough to do these sorts of jobs with the camera in the way. And now this whole fucking clip is gonna be useless. I could try to weld it, but then I won't be able to get it on camera. Ah, fuck it. Let's take it off. Focus, you fuck. There we go. Shut the fuck up, buddy. He knows you're out there, ass clown. I was just about to weld it without checking it. See? Stupid. That would have been very stupid. And then you know what I would have said? I'm a fucking idiot. Oh, we got some shit in the knot. Yeah. Yep. We got a weld booger in the nozzle that's grounding off. Nobody have time for that shit right now. I should move all this shit away and do my ending properly. That's what I should do.